The Intercept has a really great article about Bernie Sanders and the corporate Democrats in the Senate trying to fight back against GOP-controlled House of Representatives, Senate, and the presidency in a few days. The Intercept reports, quote, Bernie Sanders introduced a very simple symbolic amendment Wednesday night, urging the federal government to allow Americans to purchase pharmaceutical drugs from Canada where they are considerably cheaper. So it basically allows Americans to opt out for the choice of buying drugs from Canada if they want to. So it seems like kind of a weird bill when you think about it, but it'll help Americans because the pharmaceutical companies have such a great hold on the pharmaceutical drugs that they're so expensive. There was a drug here that cost it was an antidepressant drug. It cost $2,000 here. It cost like $450 in Canada. It was about a $400 difference. So they're charging American pharmaceutical companies are charging Americans about $2,000 more for an antidepressant drug, compared to a $450 price range in Canada for the same exact drug. So Bernie Sanders, once again, coming to the rescue of the American people, looking out for us and not Goldman Sachs and ExxonMobil and all the rich donors that other Republicans and Democrats have that control them. But, again, corporate Democrats got in the way, which is weird because Obama is the one that pushed TPP. Corporate Democrats are the one that are pushing TPP, like Hillary. So I don't understand why all of a sudden free trade is kind of a bad thing and they vote against it, while they have been and will continue most likely to support the TPP. And it's so like they should be jumping for joy that Bernie Sanders proposed an amendment like this, but again they blocked it because money's involved, because the pharmaceutical company doesn't want it to happen. So they're not going to allow this to happen, even though it's good for the American people. Okay, anyways, we continue. The Senate voted down the amendment 52-46, with 2 senators not voting for this particular amendment. Unusually, the vote was not purely along party lines. 13 Republicans joined Sanders with a majority of Dems. So 13 Republicans came to the aid of Bernie Sanders and pushed for this. One of them was even Ted Cruz and John McCain. You have people like that who are coming to Bernie Sanders' support for this bill. And you have people like Cory Booker going against it because he took like $250,000 from pharmaceutical companies. So it's really gross. Money in politics is so nasty. It's the grossest thing about our system. Anyways, okay, so let's continue. So Cory Booker, my next point, Cory Booker went to vote against this, and this is what I want to say to Cory Booker. Get the hell out of the way, okay? Because, like Van Jones said, the Clinton days are over, man. You take money, you're not for the people, get out of our way. You lost in 2016. You're Obama light, you're running for 2020, and you're already disqualified. Just get out of the way. We need somebody else to run. And see, this is what I'm talking about, because you take big pharma money. I already have no interest for your 2020 campaign. I'm not going to vote for you in the primary, no matter who is running against you, because there's somebody already better than you that we don't know about who's running in the 2020 primary. So get out of our way. The Bernie wing of the Democratic Party is going to come to rebuild and reshape this party. Obama had it for 8 years. Hillary Clinton wanted it for another 4 years. Obviously, that didn't happen. Sadly, I would have taken Clinton over Donald Trump. That being said, look, you guys lost. There's that article that came out a couple weeks ago about the war room and the resistance, and it's headed by Hillary Clinton staffers, and so no, you're doing it wrong. You had one job. It's to get out of our way. You have progressives, actual left-leaning progressives coming to reshape the Democratic Party, and you are blocking us from doing our job. And what I have to say to you, Cory Booker, and all these other corporate Democrats that voted for this bill and other bills, social media is on our side. You will be all over social media for voting against this bill. He went on Twitter, and he's already felt it, and he already said, look, we wanted to make sure it just stuck with the FDA standards. It's like, no, see, you're such a bold-faced liar. Get out of our way, okay? Corporate Democrats, people like Clinton, people like Cory Booker, get out of our way, okay? We've got Elizabeth Warren, we got Bernie Sanders, we've got Keith Ellison, we got Tulsi Gabbard, we've got new media rising up, other channels doing the same thing that I'm doing, who have been doing it for longer and are way better than me. I'm just offering a different perspective as a young kid, a college kid, who leans left on most issues, wanting to just throw my 2 cents in. I'm not trying to beat anybody, I'm just doing this for me. So the new media itself, though, the Young Turks, Secular Talk, all these other new media voices coming up, social media is going to shape the 2020 election even more than it did the 2016 election. So, speaking of the 2016 election, because Bernie ran in 2016, the media and the people, all eyes are on him. When Bernie Sanders does something, it will be reported. Even if he got shit on in 2016, they're still going to report it because the people have his eyes on Bernie Sanders. Even if you disagree with him, you want to know what he says. A man from rural Vermont with -6 name recognition came to fight against Hillary Clinton, who had all the name recognition in the world, who had an unbelievable chance of winning, came back and tied with her by the time the primaries were over, had more name recognition and more favorables by the time the primary was over. It's amazing what this man did in 2016. It's amazing. You can have disagreements. I disagree with him on some things. I disagree with him on abortion. I disagreed with him on guns, but then he finally kind of made his point more clear, and we can agree on guns now more. So Twitter is going to be a huge deal. Cory Booker, you're already gone. You shouldn't even announce for 2020. I don't even want you to. You're nothing. Get out of the way. We've got actual progressives coming to fight against Trump, and not just your crappy little resistance. Like, you guys are the reason why Hillary lost. That, and because she was the worst candidate in the history of mankind, second only to Donald Trump. He had a 62 disapproval rating on the day of the general election, and you lost. Okay? Bernie Sanders, right before the end of the primary, a poll came out and said, on this day, if you could vote, who would you vote for? Clinton beat Donald Trump by 2 points. Ted Cruz or Marco Rubio beat out Clinton here and there. But Bernie Sanders beat Trump by 10 points. So you're the problem, corporate Democrats. You're the problem. So get out of our way. Either you join us or you get out of our way.